Walk through the pull pump. I can only have it on this angle. I can't switch back and forth. So before we do anything here, we need to go over to the wall because most likely it's going to be during the day that you do this, and during the day is when the pump runs. It turns off like I think 5 or 6 at night. I don't see you doing that. So you just take this switch. That way it turns off the pump. Sometimes you'll feel or it won't go. It's because, oh, there's a froggy in there. It's just because of the timer. And sometimes when you try to push it back on, you feel it won't go. Especially when you're trying to turn it back on, just leave it off and the timer will turn it back on later in the day or the next day. So don't try to force it at all. But trying to turn it off should be fine. You shouldn't have an issue. So then you're gonna come over here back to the pump. There's a couple of things you're gonna do over here, but the first thing you gotta do, you know, all these weeds out there. Wow. First thing you have to do, man, there's so many weeds over here. This little knob right here, see if it focuses. This knob, you gotta turn it. I don't know if you can hear that. You're gonna hear hissing coming out of it. So you can open it up almost all the way without coming out. And you're just gonna leave it there, and it's gonna keep doing its little hissing thing. And you gotta listen for the water level. You're gonna hear it go down. You can't do anything until you hear that go down. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it in this. You definitely standing at the pump, you can hear it. You'll start hearing the water level go down. It takes a little bit. There it goes. It's gonna keep going, but there's two things you can do here. You can't open this right here. It's the backup skimmer for leaves that make it past the basket that's over there, we'll go to in a second. You can't open this until you've done that because of the pressure. You'll see the bubbles. That's the pressure going down and the water leaving. That you can't physically remove that until that happens. It's almost impossible because of the pressure. So, you just give it, it may still be impossible. The water level is still a little high, so we'll give it some more time. All right, so we'll go ahead and open this. So you turn this. This is gonna stay on top of the canister. It won't come off, but it just popped right there, so I can tell that it's released. So then, hopefully I can get this, hold on. Right here along the edges, oh, I'm sorry. The edges right here is where you're gonna put your fingers to lift up on this. All right, there it went. So you kind of just got to keep working on it, like work your fingers around it, wiggling it back and forth, and it will pop. You can see how dirty this is. So we're gonna go ahead and do this now. Hold on. World. All right, this one could be a little difficult. So then the blue basket in here, this little handle never stays. You can try it, but you just turn it. You can see the grooves right there. That's where it sits back into the grooves in there. You just empty this basket. You may have to get your hands in there and dig all that goop out. Hold on. We may go back to this. It's a lot of hair from the girls. Scoop it out. Try to get as much of it out as you can. It's not going to get perfect. And you slide it back in. See those grooves? And then it turns. You got to make sure that this seal here is all the way around. It usually stays. You put this back on, turn it until you feel like it's tight. There. So with this, go ahead and just lift it out. I always place it right here. This is where I do it. And you can see how nasty it is. And so I'm gonna pause this and come back. So what we're gonna do, I'll show what we're gonna do real quick, but I can't do it and hold it, I don't think. So, oh, wrong setting. Hold on. Is that it? Nope. Okay. Basically you're gonna go down and just spray. This isn't even the best nozzle. There's another nozzle for this. But you're basically just gonna spray down. You'll see the dirt come out. You see how the dirt's coming out? So basically you keep going around and around and around until it's clean. And I'm gonna pause this and come back. It'll probably be a second video.